Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian Menezes from Mumbai, India. Good morning and welcome to Pathways of Hope. Today's gospel is taken from Matthew chapter 14, verses 13 to 21. And this gospel, this passage, is about the feeding of the 5,000. Whenever we hear the gospel about the feeding of the 5,000, there might be a question that arises for us. Did this really happen? Could Jesus have really fed 5,000 plus people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish? And it is a good question to ask. So let's start with that. We believe that Jesus was born by virgin birth. We believe that Jesus healed the blind and the lame and the lepers. We even believe that Jesus rose dead people to life, like Lazarus. We believe that Jesus himself died and rose again from the dead. All these are really incredible miracles, and they are the foundation of our faith. The resurrection being the greatest foundation of our faith. If Jesus never rose again, as Paul said, we Christians would be pitiable. And then there's this story or this passage of the multiplication of bread and fish, and it is an incredible miracle. But let me give you a little more evidence. The resurrection is mentioned in all 4 Gospels. A lot of the other miracles are not really mentioned in all the 4 Gospels, but we still believe them, right? The multiplication of bread or the feeding of the 5,000 is one of the others that is mentioned in all 4 Gospels. That is 4 times the evidence. And if we see this with the eyes of faith, just as we believe in the resurrection, as we believe in Jesus healing the blind, we can believe in the multiplication of bread and fish that feeds 5,000. Let's dive into the passage a little more, and I want to focus especially on verse 16 today. But Jesus said, "They need not go away. You give them something to eat." Now, this one is in response to the disciples saying, "Hey, the people have been here all day. They're hungry. They need to go home and prepare food. We should let them go." And this is Jesus' response. They need not go away. You give them something to eat. Jesus' words always carry a lot of weight. He has been preaching and teaching the crowd the whole day. And now in the evening, when everyone expects just to go home and have a late dinner, the disciples are ready to, find the food that they need and end the day, get some rest. And Jesus says, they need not go away. If we think of our faith as boxed into just one part of our life, our friendships with people we go to church with on Sundays, and we save our faith only for that time. When we go to church or when we go to a prayer meeting or to prayer services. But the rest of our life, we want to keep separate. And we struggle sometimes in keeping these 2 worlds separate. And that's what Jesus is challenging us with today. He says, these believers and church friends, let them walk with you. Let them not go away. Let them eat with you and see how you live the rest of your life and see who you are when no one is looking. Let those believers in. Let the church into your life. He aims to say that your relationships with other believers and people who journey with you in the faith is to be taken seriously. He says in another passage, "My mother and my brothers are those who hear God's word and put them into practice." Here he's aiming to teach his disciples that these people who follow him, just like you and me, are now our brethren, our family. But what does Jesus also ask them to do? He says, you give them something to eat. Both of these things are important. They are family, and Jesus is asking you to pour out your life for them, as well as allowing them to journey with you. And you might ask, how do we actually do this? Just a couple of things here from what Jesus is trying to say. 1, live simply so that you can love generously. Live simply so that you can love generously. Our life and maybe the world is always teaching us to keep things in balance. Balance your time of going to church. Balance your time of family. Balance your time of career. And these are good. The world is always asking us to check if the price is right. Try to bargain with something. Try to get the best deals, But Jesus is asking us something completely different. He asks us to love generously. If someone asks you to walk 1 mile, go with them too. Pour out your heart in love, especially for those who are in need. Put the needs of others before our own needs and wants. Living simply is a decision so that we are not distracted. What are we distracted by? Maybe by the newest phone, maybe by the latest fashion. And these things consume our energy, our time, and our resources that we could actually be giving to people in need, to people we journey with in the faith. That's what Jesus is telling us. Second, lay your life down for your friends. A big aspect of laying your life down is forgiveness. Forgive as Jesus forgave, even though it might be hard. It might take a lot of effort. Forgive like Jesus forgave, completely and without holding back. Laying your life down also means that we are to love our brothers and sisters, our fellow disciples, sacrificially, thinking less about ourselves and offering as much as we can to others. Laying your life down is selflessness. And Jesus is teaching his disciples to be selfless. These are the two things I think come out from this passage. 1, live simply so that you can love generously. And 2, lay your life down for your friends. Live selflessly for the people around you. Let's take this and apply it to our life as we meditate on this passage. If you've been blessed by this reflection, please share it with your friends and family. God bless you all.